All right, welcome back. This is Cult of Elections, and oh man, a lot of things have happened since my last video. Of course, we have the Georgia runoffs, which both Democrats ended up winning those, meaning Democrats have a majority in the United States Senate. And of course, the news that nobody could get away from, what the media is calling an insurrection. Okay, so based on that, I'm going to talk about the new implications of what would happen if Trump ran in 2024. Because I made videos on this before, but this is a lot of new information here. So yeah, it could really change. I think based on how close Colorado was, it could easily jump into the safe column with New Mexico and Virginia remaining in the likely column for Democrats. And yeah, so I think with the whole insurrection thing, I don't think it's going to I don't think it would actually change much in this political climate. So yeah, missing a couple of key states here. Okay, so obviously, I skip over some safe Republican states because they aren't so safe anymore. And in this scenario, absolutely, you can chalk these up, all of them, including Mississippi. And if you disagree with me there, go see how close it was in the 2020 race. Now, I mean, it was obviously a Trump win, but it wasn't as much as it really should have been. So, yeah, we can throw South Carolina, Mississippi into that column. We can throw Alaska into that column. But yeah, I think the main thing, and this may sound crazy, is why Trump would have a hurdle this election is his ability to not post on social media, which might be crazy, but social media is absolutely necessary to promote things nowadays. Products, music. I mean, look at the music charts. It's all TikTok songs now. Social media plays a huge part in everything nowadays. And if Trump's deplatformed, tries to run, it is simply not going to work. So yeah, Minnesota, New Hampshire, Maine at large, all those still likely Democrat. And honestly, because of this, I mean, I have to throw Michigan and Pennsylvania into the lean Democrat as well, again. And Nevada, same thing. But where are some bright spots for Trump? I think he still wins Iowa and Ohio, but definitely by, lower margins than he did in the 2020 race. But they've shown to him twice that, they're on his side. Not everyone in the state, but enough, a comfortable margin. Enough to say, yeah, he'd win those again, despite the deplatforming. So, we can also pretty much throw any state that Biden won. We can pretty much throw it in this column. Yes, giving the Democrats the victory here. And same thing with Nebraska's second. Can't really see that helping him. And we're going to go into Texas and Florida, North Carolina. I think Florida jumps into a tilt Republican margin because out of Texas, Florida, North Carolina, it was the tightest margin. And obviously Trump loses, not necessarily support, but loses the ability to campaign on the most important platforms. I knew I forgot DC. Okay. Okay, Florida, I think this still remains in the lean Republican column. I think that was enough of a margin. I definitely think it'd be less, but you know, still over 1%. And same thing with Texas there. I think that would actually cut pretty dramatically, but it's still not quite a tilt margin. And that just leaves Maine's 2nd Congressional District, which would be the only thing I see flipping in this race. Now, obviously, this is just comparing 2020 to 2024. This all really depends on who the Democrats put up to run. And, yeah, so this isn't necessarily, yes, this will happen no matter what, because we don't know the opposition. This is just Trump against generic Democrat here. I think, yeah, if he remains deplatformed, which will probably happen at this point, it would be very tough for him to win again if he ran. But of course, Trump not being on the ballot poses another problem for Republicans, as we've seen in the Georgia runoffs. And as we've seen with the Georgia runoffs as well, it could also be, you know, a lack of belief that the vote is correct. People don't have faith in the voting systems, and that could also pose a problem for Republicans. And then, of course, there is the rift. Some conservatives want to make a new party called the Patriot Party. That would make a huge dent. So honestly, at the beginning of November, even though Trump lost, we saw a very close House margin that Republicans could have just as easily won. They had the advantage going into the Georgia runoffs. And of course, Joe Biden probably won't have the greatest approval. And Democrats are likely to run someone more progressive in 2024. So things were honestly looking up for Republicans. Set to probably take back the House in 2022. And hold on to the Senate in 2022 as well as this year, 2021. But now things are kind of shaken up a little bit. But a lot can happen in 3 years pretty much. So yes, Trump could get his accounts back. Maybe social media doesn't play as much of a part as I thought. But yes, this is how I see it. Leave a video suggestion in the comments below. Be sure to like the video and subscribe for more daily content. Peace.